Hola Mis Amores, it's Nori here. And today I want to share with you 3 ways that rest inspires my work as a self-trust coach. Now, before I jump into those 3 ways, and I will, I have to be transparent with you. Rest was one of the hardest things I had to learn to do because I am what you will call a high achiever, where when I'm really into doing something, I go from 0 to 100, like we say in New York. We go from 0 to 100, which means I go from not knowing how to do this thing, not ever doing this thing, to becoming obsessed with it. I did it with pole dancing, where I went from never pole dancing a day in my life to becoming a pole dance instructor in like 6 months or something like that, because I loved it so much. I gave it literally everything I had. Um, and I just kind of stopped doing everything else. I also did it with running. I went from not necessarily being a runner to running the New York City Marathon in like less than 3 years or something like that. It was something really crazy. So because that's my energy, I like to achieve, I like to do, I like to like deliver, I like to put things out. I like to sometimes be busy, right? The idea of being busy is what I had associated with success. Because that had been my story, rest was something I didn't necessarily think about a lot. I actually saw rest as a waste of time. So, because I saw rest as a waste of time, I struggle a lot with taking time off, and that often led to burnout. So, when I became a coach and I started talking about self trust and I started talking about the importance of listening to your intuition, I began to notice within myself how important it was to create a space, an environment where I could listen to my intuition, where I can slow things down from the external world and really focus on how I was feeling and focus on how I was moving through life so that I can move accordingly to what felt authentic to me. And that's really when rest entered the fold. In a way, life forced me to learn how to rest. Life forced me to slow down. I've talked about depression before in my journey with depression. And I remember being depressed, but that being like part of rest for me in a way, because those feelings of depression kept me from taking action. And when you're so used to taking action all the time, when you're so used to doing, it can be really difficult to shift out of those patterns. So, rest through my work as a self trust coach has been a lifesaver, has helped me really transit. Excuse me, this pregnancy, y'all, got me burping like every 2 seconds. Rest has helped me really take my business to a whole nother level where I'm operating from a space of fullness. I am operating from a space of ease, and I'm not forcing myself to burn myself out in the name of success, which is something that I see a lot of my clients doing who are also high achieving women. So, what are these 3 ways that rest inspires my work? The first thing is boundaries. A lot of people don't think about boundaries as rest, but it is. Because when you set boundaries with people, with yourself, with your environment, you put yourself in a position to create a scenario where you can focus more on your intuitive guidance. So putting boundaries, being clear around what boundaries are, helps me rest tremendously. And boundaries look different to different people. I remember when I first started setting boundaries, the one boundary I used to have was don't call me for 10 o'clock. And my phone is off or my phone is in silence. So even if you called, I'm not going to answer. And I started telling my friends that, like, hey, don't call me after this hour, don't call me after that hour because I'm not available. And that was very difficult because I was used to being the type of friend that measured her success as a friend by how available she was to other people. So when I began to set that boundary, it felt very uncomfortable, but my friends were very receptive and they got with the program. And it was a boundary that needed to happen for me to ground myself and center myself. And it worked. So setting boundaries is one of the ways that rest inspires my work, because when I have boundaries, I can create that space for me to rest without feeling guilt, without feeling shame, without feeling like I'm doing something wrong. The second way that rest inspires my work is by celebrating. I actually just wrapped up a week-long celebration of so many awesome accomplishments from me and just dope stuff that has happened in my life. Like I celebrated a birthday, I celebrated hosting my first retreat for the self-trust system with my clients, which was amazing. I celebrated reaching what was it? I think I celebrated making like $30,000 in a month. I celebrated my last birthday as a as a as a pregnant person. My last birthday before I have a baby. I celebrated 6 years of marriage with my husband. I celebrated my clients having amazing results. Like they're just freaking amazing women and they're flourishing in so many ways. I also celebrated living the life I desire, just being able to do what I love with ease and joy. What else I celebrated? I celebrated so many things. The list is ongoing. And when I take time to celebrate, I'm able to rest from doing all this work. I'm able to take out a space to really sit in my joy. And it was so amazing because I went to the spa and I got a prenatal massage, which was really good. I got a mani and I got a pedi. What else did I do? I went to eat at my favorite spot here. One of my favorite spots here in Florida was the steakhouse, and also went to have lobster. And I just like really celebrated the fact that I can do all these things, right? And I just took time to not work a whole week off work and really focus on celebrating myself. A lot of times we wait until there's a time to celebrate ourselves, but you can celebrate yourself at any time. And when you do that, you are allowing yourself to sit in the work that you've done. Which leads me to the third way that I embed rest into the work I do. That is receiving, really allowing yourself to receive. Self-trust is about you seeing the fruits of your labor. So if you're not allowing yourself to receive those fruits, if you're not allowing yourself to experience them and to really sit with them, you're going to have a difficult time feeling like you're trusting yourself with confidence or feeling like you're doing the quote unquote right thing. So being able to be a magnet to receive the manifestations you desire, to receive the joy that's available to you, to receive the abundance that you have access to, it's really a feeling I can describe. And it has been one of the most transformational parts of my work because a lot of my clients, they struggle with receiving. They struggle with, accepting things like compliments, like more money, like time off, just people doing things for them, receiving help. So many of us struggle with things like that. So when you put yourself in a position to receive, you let the universe know that you're available. You let the universe know that you are open. And then things begin to clear out for you to receive more of what you truly desire. So those are ways in which rest has really transformed my work. And I have to be honest with you, as challenging as this was at the beginning, I'm obsessed with it now because I am learning that I don't have to struggle to receive the things I desire. That doesn't mean I won't be challenged, and that doesn't mean I won't be uncomfortable, but it does mean that I don't have to bring unnecessary suffering into whatever it is that I do. Especially being pregnant right now, like I've had to learn to just be okay with the fact that rest is a part of my life. There's not a lot of energy to do all those things I used to do before. So as I'm growing a tiny human, I'm giving myself permission to discover Nori in this category, in this way, in this season, and allow her to rest with joy. And that's really what I want for you too, because the more you rest with joy, the more you begin to see how abundant and wealthy your life really is. And you feel like you're exactly where you need to be. And then you trust yourself even more. Have an amazing rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how you are resting. What's your relationship with rest like? I want all the tea. And I will talk to you next time. Hasta luego.